Talk to me. Saddiq Bey has been advertised as a 3-and-D wing. I see him more as a 3-and-P forward. Let's talk about his shooting first. He shot 45% from three-point range this season, taking almost 6 a game. His freshman season, nothing to scoff at either, 37% at 4 a game. And then let's add the context that he's what I call a rhythmless shooter, meaning he doesn't really need one. He will shoot it coming down in transition, off a low catch, backpedaling. He'll fake a pass into a shot. He's comfortable letting it go in pretty much all situations, so it really makes his percentage even more impressive. But I do have some real concerns about him getting it off at the next level. Not only is Saddiq's release low, it's out, away from his body, and it allows smaller defenders to contest easier and bigger defenders to gap and still contest. His release is quick, and the before-mentioned rhythmless ability should nullify some of this. But overall, I think what you'll notice is he needs more space than most shooters his size do to get his shot off. It's similar to Jaren Jackson Jr.'s. Quicker, but similar mechanics. Now, you may say, well, he gets off plenty. True, but he also is usually defended by centers unwilling to really close out on him. This is one of the reasons I think Bey is a stretch 4 in the NBA rather than a wing. I think he's going to just have a much easier time finding open shots matched up against bigger players. And when he's open, he's a knockdown shooter. So that's the 3. What's the P? Playmaking. He's shown the ability to make very good reads on the floor, particularly in the half court. He's another one of these kids that was a point guard and then had a huge growth spurt. But one of the concerns with him has to be his athleticism and lack of burst. He plays upright, he takes short strides, but he has a big body handle though. Think current LeBron in terms of how he gets downhill. He uses his body to get where he wants. And because he's such a good shooter, his hang dribble, it's pretty effective. I think you could see him really excel in dribble handoff options and pick and pops. When he gets run off the pops, and he will, he'll be able to rumble his way into the paint and make plays for others. Look, he's got a lot of potential as a short roll playmaker, a la Draymond. The difference being, he can also shoot. Now, there are other differences between them that are not so favorable for Saddiq, and all those lie on the defensive end. On paper, Bey was Villanova's best defender. Most of the time, he guarded the other team's best scorer, and they won a lot. But I just don't think it's going to translate to the NBA. It goes back to his lack of athleticism. On ball, I think he's going to hold up with his effort, size, and strength. But so much of NBA defense is being able to help, rotate, and then recover. That's where I think he's going to struggle, especially in a more spaced out athletic league. Again, the effort, the strength, and the IQ is all there. He just doesn't have the physical burst to be a true disruptor and earn that D label. I mean, look how he moves out there. And all this points to him playing the 4, where he can take advantage of his strength and toughness as a defender. If a team tries to play him at small forward and out on the wing, I don't think he's going to be nearly the defender that he could be playing the 4. Ultimately, if I'm a team looking to draft Saddiq Bey, the blueprint is this: focus on getting stronger. Unlike a lot of these other prospects, if he puts in the work in the weight room, he can end up with a really imposing frame, I think. And that would ensure that he could play the 4 and even some small ball 5. Offensively, that should unlock him as a dynamic stretch 4 who should be elite in pick and pop situations and very good as a short roll playmaker. My NBA comp would be the 3rd Morris twin. Not as good an athlete, but a better shooter with a similar bully ball game downhill as well as feistiness. Saddiq does come with the Villanova seal of approval that no doubt will make teams feel better about taking him. But I would be remiss to not give you this tidbit. After his freshman year of high school at the basketball factory that is DeMatha High, he transferred to a lesser-known school. And then his senior year, he committed to North Carolina State and then backed out months later before ending up at Villanova. Now, like everything else, context is needed to truly judge, but whenever a kid has a history of transferring, it needs to be noted. He's kind of like the front court version of Devin Vassell. That being said, I wouldn't take him before Devin, who, 1, plays a position of higher need around the league, 2, has a much higher release that will treat him well moving forward, and is the superior athlete. I do think Bey possesses a good amount of intangibles to go along with his toughness. He seems to be a natural leader, and he just has a high competitive spirit. He looks like he has that no back down gene, and history tells us that that trait, that gene, tends to maximize a talent. I project him out to become a very nice role player for a team, whether that's your 6th or 7th man off the bench. And I think anywhere after 10 in this draft, that's a good value.
I've been winning so long, it's like alchemy.